You know what really fries my motherboard? Game requirements, both minimum and recommended, in certain situations. Now, we're all familiar with how games are becoming more advanced and pushing more and more systems to their limits, even by the minimum standards. But sometimes it's complete and utter goddamn bullshit. I'm sure most of you probably remember the whole Call of Duty Ghost fiasco, where if you didn't even, meet these mythical requirements that it had, you couldn't even run the goddamn game without an exploit to the EXE. Well, recently I started working on a new desktop. Got some parts here and there, slowly put it together. Pretty good little beast, I like to think. So I went to look at the game that I pretty much built it for, which is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And I figured, run Ground Zeroes. See how you do with Ground Zeroes, that'll give you a good idea of where you'll stand with the Phantom Pain, right? Well, officially, I don't even meet the minimum requirements for Ground Zeroes. I don't have the right Sandy Core quad processor, even though I have an i7 quad at 2.8. And my graphics card, despite being 730, is not the 760 like they want. So pixel and shader versions are good. 2 gigs of dedicated RAM when I only need 1. But not good enough, right? Well, screw it. Let me run it. I've ran games horribly before. I've ran games without a graphics card. Let me see how I can do. Maybe I can get a good idea. So, I ran it. Default settings are all at high, hold texture filtering, and shadows. Okay, that's... I don't think it'd be, I don't think it'd lie to me. Well, put the FPS counter up through Steam, and let's take a look. 55. 50 frames per second to 55 frames per second on average when looking at the entire base. The entire goddamn Guantanamo prison camp in the 1970s that shouldn't even exist. I get 50 to 55 frames. But officially, I don't even meet the minimum requirements. What in the hell? This is a load of bullshit. By any standards, mine looks better than the goddamn PS3 version. But somehow, apparently, I'm not supposed to even be allowed to run it. I don't meet the minimum. Then how do I get 55 with pretty much everything on high? Doesn't make sense in my brain. Oh, and the resolution's 720, not 1080, but 720 is pretty good. I can live with that, right? That's about the console resolution. It upsets me when, I'm trying to make a purchase on a graphics card or a processor, figure out how much RAM I need to buy, when it blatantly is trying to get me to buy more than I need at all. And recommended RAM for Ground Zeroes is 8. 8 gigabytes to, run it recommended. Most systems have 8 on the market right now. I mean, most gaming go up to 16, but most people usually stop at, about 8. And you're going to tell me you need all of that, Ground Zeroes? You need all of that RAM? What the fuck are you doing? And that, for today, is what fries my motherboard.